Hello, my name is Jamal Hussain Shah, and I am API Security Analyst. Today, I will discuss the brute force attack in API. The password brute force attack are a straightforward method for gaining unauthorized access to an API. This type of attack involves sending requests to the API authentication endpoints, often with JSON payload. The credentials may require base64 encoding. To enhance the effectiveness of your brute force, you can create a password list tailored to the target information from the excessive data exposure vulnerability. Such user accounts detail can help refine the list. For example, you might discover whether the account uses multi-factor authentication, has a default password, or it's active. By analyzing such as excessive data, you can guarantee target password list using tools that increase the chance of successful brute force attack. So this is the command which I will copy in here because I will describe. This is the command. Wfuzz is the best tool for use the brute force attack in the API endpoint. Wfuzz, its name is mentioned in the terminal. I will put in the terminal this command. The D option in Wfuzz allows you fuzz the content of the post request body because you have to try to log in and intercept to the bird suite and with the wrong password, but you know the username. The curly brackets that follow the contain the post request body. To determine the format, I first authenticate via email and password parameter. You can see the password and email parameter. Each API may have the different request structure. In this example, the email is fixed. The password will be replaced with the first parameter. The HSE option hides responsive with specific status code, helping to filter our repetitive response. If you know the typical failure response for your target, that is 405 status code, you can avoid saying it repeatedly, improving the clarity of the result. The edge options over here, you can see the edge options add the header necessary for some APIs. For example, some APIs may return 415 unsupported media type error if the content type application JSON header is missing when sending a JSON data. Is important, right? You have to note this. Once the request is sent, you can review the results in the command line. If you have used the HSC options effectively, the results should be more readable. The status scores in the 200 or 300 typically indicate successfully brute force in credential attempt. Now, when testing the API, it's crucial to understand the point like header H, response filter at dash dash HC, HL and dash dash HW and dash dash H. The post body request minus D. The essential when fuzzing the API, for example, like Creepy. I used Creepy as a vulnerable API. Before that, I have used the Wfuzz, but there is some server error. I can use the Creepy for this brute force attack. We must specify the contents type header as a content type application JSONs. The post body for the login would be the email and password like this. But the first is attack position in the command line. To minimize the irrelevant response, you can use the dash dash HC option to hide the certain response. It is important more to note that the brute force should be only conducted on your own lab environment to prevent the performance issue for the users. Running such an attack on shared environment may cause application failure. So this is I use first of all I want to see because I know the password. Because of the time convention, I can use the ROPO file and the password file from the checklist, but I can create the password in order to save the time and show the result 200 in the terminal. So this is I created the .txt file and I put it the correct password here is this one. Okay, and Control O and enter save and Control X escape from that area. Now the command wfuzz I have already copied this command. The email address is harunmaksud at gmail and password is this -h content type application JSON minus z file location. As you see my location of the file, you can see pwd this is, and I can see the file here. Wait a minute. This is the file I save already saved. So I come into the command and content location and the address. Before proceed this command, I want to tell you how can intercept. This is the readable API, and I already intercept and send to the repeater to because I have put it the wrong password. That's why it's showing 401. So from this you can see the post request as a login address, and this is the URL. So from this all information you have created this command. Okay, now I hope you will understand how can you intercept from the browser to the burp suite and get this from the in the burp suite request. The response is this. Okay, so proxy is this. You intercept and on, and you set the proxy, and for Proxy Pro you can click on the burp suite port 8080. This all I will let you know on in the lab how can you can establish a lab. Then now I will proceed this command. As you can see here, the 200 response they have found the correct password. So I brute force the API endpoint from knowing the email address. We can easily found the password from the wfuzz tool, and that is. One thing more, before the test, you have to check this API is you have done from this all procedure is then before that from this command executed, you have to check whether your API is working or not, because it's if the server is down, this result that result password will not found. So as you can see, I curl dot capital X post, and this is the URL, content type, and the email and the password. As I told you, I know the password. I have created the password because this will make a video long if I will use a raw view file. Okay, and the other file checklist file, it will the time consuming, and for this I have already created the password and saved it. So it's working. Okay. So before you run the command brute force attack, you have to check your API is working. But in the real world, you didn't know the password, so you have to directly check this, run this command. It will found the password correctly. This is the password. Okay. So this is all which I have told you. It's very easy. You can just the username, email address, and you can for the password. If the API is vulnerable, you can easily detect it, the password through the Wfuzz tool. So this is all detail. I already attached this explanation in below the video so that you can read and practice easily. I hope you will understand this video and do practice. But the thing is that I again telling you that you have to check the server is on, otherwise just give the 500 response. 500 response is also you have successfully, but there is some error in the server. It will not give a 200 like this. Okay. So this is all about the brute force attack of API in mind, and I hope you will understand. Now I will come on to the next video with next topic, another topic. Yeah, one thing note, you have to identify the password. So the password is this. So copy the password and you can see the repeater have the request, and because of the wrong password it show the 401, and I will insert the correct password here. Okay, then I will send the request. It shows the 200. So we have successfully brute force attack and easily found the password through the Wfuzz tool. So we will end this video and we will come on to the next video with the next topic. Thank you.